What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Misleading Pokemon moves team. This one is for Patreon. If you'd like your theme team done, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Richard, man, this one is for you. So basically what he wanted was Pokemon moves that were quite misleading or deceptively named, like Dragon Ascent, right? And for me to use them. So Dragon Ascent is a flying type move. However, you'd probably think it'd be a dragon type move, right? The way it's named. So all the moves I was using were based around stuff like that. Which made for some quite interesting Pokemon sets. It was kind of limited, and obviously a lot of this was opinion based too before you leave a comment. Anyway, people, if you do want to battle me, that's in the description of the video. The question for today is, what is your favorite Pokemon move? My favorite would probably be Final Gambit. It's very, very successful on Greninja. So we have a battle against Jason on my chat. Guys, we've got my Kangaskhan King's Rock Comet Punch lead. So Comet Punch probably sounds like a fighting type move. It's actually a normal type move. Now, I also had Dizzy Punch on this one too. Same thing with that one. Also had Mega Kick. Same thing with that one. And I also had Work Up to boost my stats. Work Up I could see as a fighting type move too, because, you know, you're working up. Right, anyway, so we got the classic Pound Bubble Greninja. Man, I haven't seen this guy for about 2 years. It's good to see it again. I'm on 69 health at the moment, and I'm able to take out the Pound Bubble Greninja. Now, these battles were really, really good, guys. Make sure you stick around for the whole thing. They were very, very entertaining. So I've taken the early lead, and now we've got the Ditto coming in, which is going to transform into my Kangaskhan. So I can probably imagine the look on the face after seeing the moveset that I'm running. So I'm going to go for Mega Kick on the opposing Ditto. It almost takes it out, so close. And now the Ditto's going to go for the Dizzy Punch on my Kangaskhan, taking me out. Man, I was so close then. Kangaskhan goes down, but don't worry, people. I got rid of the Pound Bubble Greninja. So now swapping in Kingdra. This is probably my favorite set out of all of them. So we've got on this one Max Special Attack and Max Speed. I've got Focus Energy with the Sniper. I've got Twister. Now Twister, you probably think that is a flying type move, but it's a dragon type move. Focus Energy, I'd say probably that could be like more of a Focus Energy, maybe like a fighting or psychic type move. Razor Wind, another one you can think of like a flying type move. And Attract, I'd say is probably Attract would be more like a fairy type move if you think about it. So we got the Manectric coming in. It's going to go for the switcheroo, switching up our items. I actually had Power Herb, Razor Wind. Unfortunately, that's really going to mess me over because now I've got a choice band. Right, so we got the Manectric going for the Wild Charge against me. Since it doesn't have the choice band anymore, it doesn't hit as hard. It's about a 3-hit KO. Razor Wind hits really hard. I'm actually locked into Razor Wind at the moment. It's not really going to work with me holding a choice band, so I thought I might as well just sack my Kingdra and keep it in. And I'm going to whip up a Whirlwind. However, the Manectric is going to be able to take me out, unfortunately. And that's basically my Kingdra down. However, Kingdra got to use some very nice saltiness in the second battle, so make sure you stick around for that one. I got to actually show you the full potential of that set. Very, very beautiful. So now swapping in my Bouffalant. Now this set was as follows. We've got Rock Climb on this one. Obviously, you'd think that'd be a rock kind of move, but it's not. We've got Rock Smash. That's a fighting type move, but you think it'd be a rock type move too. We've got Sword Dance. Now, I could see Sword Dance as being a steel type move. I'm not sure what you think, and I've also got Scary Face on it, which I thought could be a ghost type move. So this one's kind of up to, you got to think about this one. That's why I really like this theme too. It's very, very cool. So now, anyway, I finish off the Manectric with the Disrespect Rock Smash. Now I've got my Bouffalant here. And we've got the Toucannon coming in, which is going to use a Z move. Now, it's flying in Z. However, it's not going to be attack. It's going to be Z Tailwind. So it's going to boost its critical hit ratio and boost the speed for a set number of turns. I know none of my Pokemon are going to be able to outspeed this thing, and I'm thinking, well, it could be a special set too. So going for the Rock Climb, it misses, unfortunately. Rock Climb's actually got average accuracy, and now the Boom Burst is going to come from the Toucannon, doing like 3/4 damage to me, and I'm going to finally land a Rock Tomb. I knew a Rock Climb, and that's not going to be enough to take it out, but it still does really heavy damage. Unfortunately, that first miss actually cost me that matchup, and Bouffalant is going to go down. So we got half my team already down, but don't worry, people, I'm going to get back into this game. I just got up. So now we've got Slaking, right? So with my Slaking set, as follows. So we got on this one Mega Kick as well. We got Mega Kick and Mega Punch. So you probably think they're fighting types. I've got Slack Off on there as well, because I thought Slack Off could be something like Rest the Psychic. I think Slack Off could fall under Psychic as well. Also, we've got Sucker Punch on that one too for a fighting type move. So now the Ditto's going to come back in, right? And guess what? I'm going to actually swap out here because obviously I'm not suited for that matchup. I'm on Druid, and I'm going to swap in the Dusclops. And I'm hoping he goes for a normal type move so I can just get a free swap in, right? it's going to go for the Slack Off and get lots of its health back from my Slack Off. So I was kind of wishing I didn't run Slack Off on there. Now, my Dusclops was a bulky Everlight set. Now, Will-o-wisp actually was explained at the start. It's actually like a ghost type move, like Will-o-wisp. It's quite interesting. So this one was a max health. We've got max health and max special defense set. Pain Split, Attract, and Bind. So Bind I didn't think would be a normal type move. I think that'd be more like a fighting type move, like you're binding something. Much more than a normal type move, I reckon. So we've got a Pain Split, which I thought could be... I don't know, I think that could be a ghost type move. And we got Will-o-wisp, obviously, as a ghost type move too. And Attract, I think Attract really would suit a fairy type move. I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Do you have any more suggestions? I'd really like to know. So anyway, this bit was really funny. So we got the Aggron coming in. I'm going to get the bind up on it. It's going to go for the Flash Cannon. So it's a special Aggron, right? I'm going to go for Will-o-wisp. It's going to Will-o-miss, which is going to miss, right? Now, the good thing about this, the Aggron cannot swap, so it's not doing a lot of damage to Dusclops. Dusclops is very, very bulky too. However, since it was probably doing a little bit too much damage. I know it's not doing much, but I was thinking maybe it's definitely choice, I'd say. So finally, the Will-o-miss hits after the second time. That was the third time it landed, and now I've got around half its health to actually take out after the bind damage. So I can go for the Pain Split here, and I could go for just an extra bind for more damage. I want to get the Pain Split off first for longevity, so I could hang in a couple more turns. So getting my Pain Split off against the Aggron, getting a little bit of health, not too much. The great thing about Pain Split on Dusclops is it hasn't got a big health stat, so it works very nicely. So the bind actually does free there. Now, the Aggron's going to go for the Flash Cannon again. It's going to need like another one to actually take me out. I live on 10 health here. I actually went for the Bind again, and Bind misses. I'm like, bugger, that actually really cost me this matchup. Now Aggron is going to be able to take me out, right? Aggron was choice and it had no moves left. Pressure actually got rid of all of its PP. The struggle fails to kill me and it goes down. Oh, the Soul was beautiful. I love that. Bind is obviously not going to hit anything there as there's no Pokemon on the field. Right, so now in comes the tanky, you know what? And this like, Crocodile is such a bulky Everlight Pokemon on both sides. It's absolutely crazy. So it's going to come in to finish me off with the Scald. That's cool. Dusclops did a good job there. Even made an Aggron struggle. Man, I couldn't hope for more than that. So I've got two more Pokemon left. We've got Slaking here, right? So Slaking... the best thing I can really do is go for the Mega Kick. Its accuracy is really shaky. However, I land this one and it really does underwhelming damage, especially coming from a Slaking. So it's going to be a 3-hit KO, which is really, really bad. That's not good for me. Now, I do have one Pokemon left, which is going to be able to get around it. However, I decided to stay on my Slaking, right, because I couldn't swap my other Pokemon in, right. I didn't want to take any damage. Now, this move here actually made a very big difference. You'll see as the battle goes on. So I'm going to be on Truant, obviously. The Ditto's going to come in and transform into the opposing Slaking. I went for the Sucker Punch this time. However, they're going to go for a Slack Off again. So I thought they may go for Mega Kick. Since they'll do some really nice damage to me. And Ditto's going to get all of its health back. So that's fine. That's cool. So obviously I can't really do too much. I'm going to stay in and go on the Truant. Now the Ditto's going to be on the Truant at the well. So we're both Truanting at the moment. Man, I've got to do a Truant ability thing one time. So go for the Mega Kick. Mega Kick misses! Now the opposing Slaking is going to be able to hit me with the Mega Kick, doing 3/4 of my health. I really got to connect with at least one. Because I know they're going to have more health than the Ditto, obviously. Obviously, the only thing that passes with Ditto is its health stat. So I knew I'd probably be able to take it out. However, it's going to outspeed me with the Speed Tie, and that's my Slaking down. No! I've only got one more Pokemon left. I've got to get back in this game. So the last Pokemon is Smeagol. So on this set, I had Dragon Ascent, obviously. I've got Belly Drum. I've got Conversion, which I thought could be a Psychic type. Yawn, which I thought could be a Psychic type too. And I didn't think Belly Drum would, fit a normal type. Maybe Belly Drum could be like... maybe a fighting type move or something like that. I'm not sure, but it definitely doesn't suit like a normal type. Anyway, so I'm going for the Belly Drum and now I'm going for the Dragon Ascent. I almost went for the Conversion there, but I didn't want to go for let the Crocodile go for a Scald and take me out. However, it still tanks a +6 attack from the Crocodile. I'm like, no! And now it's going to be able to go for the Ancient Power against me. Lucky I didn't convert into a flying type, and I'm actually able to live that one and eat my Citrus Berry. So I thought here, I can take out the Crocodile, right, and then I can go for the Dragon Ascent and take it out. Now, the Speed Tie at the end will be the Ditto. If it doesn't have Choice Scarf, that's going to be really good. So the Crocodile is down. I know there's one more Ditto left, which is on full health, so it doesn't really matter what health stat we're on because, both Smeagols are going to be able to take each other out with the Dragon Ascent, right. Alright, so in comes the Ditto. I'm like, all I got to do is win this Speed Tie, baby, and it's game. I can clutch at the end. And so we got two Smeagols on the field. And I outspeed with Dragon Ascent. I'm like, yeah, this is it, sweet. I finally got the +6 Dragon Ascent off, and I'm going to take out the Smeagol. But I thought, so yeah, it had a Focus Sash all along. Remember those slack offs from earlier? It actually held itself up, so the Focus Sash would actually come into play at the end of the game. Oh, you can't be serious. Oh, I love Focus Sash. Did I run it myself? So my Smeagol is down, and I'm salty as. Thanks for the game, Jace. All right, so we got the next battle. This one was against Jay-Z, and using the same team, obviously. Right, this battle was very, very funny too. So we got the Gliscor lead here. Now, obviously, I'm leading things with Bouffalant this time. I wanted to change up. I kind of went between Bouffalant and Kangaskhan, so they worked pretty nicely. Now, also, another thing with this team, right, Ghost Pokemon really countered me, because if you think about the majority of moves I've used, right, they're all normal type moves. A lot of them, because a lot of them are either disguised as, well, deceptively named as normal type moves, but they could well be fighting types, right? Anyway, so Gliscor's going to go for the Protect. It's going to get its Toxic Orb up. It's actually going to fling its Toxic Orb at me. That'd be really nice if I had Facade. That'd be amazing. And that's going to poison me, obviously. Okay, so it's obviously going to have Poison Heal on it. That works nicely. I went for the Scary Face here to drop the speed of the Gliscor. I'm running a Max Health, Max Attack Bouffalant, because it's very, very bulky, right? So this set, I've got the Sword Dance on this one too. I thought I could go for the Sword Dance and get like or just go for some Rock Climb damage. Anyway, so I got the Sword Dance Rock Climber off, and it nearly takes it out. Gliscor just hangs on due to its base bulk, right? Okay, so a little bit more damage from the Toxic. I can either opt to go for the Rock Climb here or go for the Sword Dance, predicting a Protect. I thought, nah, Protect's going to be way too obvious again. I'm going to go for the attack. However, they're going to go for the Protect, and that's fine, I guess. A little bit of damage from Toxic is not going to take me out. I know that I'm going to be able to outspeed the Gliscor too, because I used Scary Face against it, and I'm on 69 health. I mean, you can't hope for something better than this. Right, now we got the Gliscor swapping. I was like, oh, bugger, this is going to be annoying. However, we got the Corsola coming in. So I was like, okay, well, it's going to resist that, but Lisa's going to do some damage against it. Now, Corsola's got quite a nice base defense. I still do very good damage to him. So I thought the item on this right, I forgot to say, was Fighting MZ, and I had Rock Smash. I thought this is a perfect opportunity to go for that. I've got a +2 in attack, and this is going to do some huge damage, and I know this is going to be enough to take out the Corsola. I did some big prior damage with Rock Climb too. Like, judging on the damage Rock Climb did, this will be enough to take it out. So, it's nothing like using Z Rock Smash, people. It's awesome. All right, so Afro Bull's going to pull out some fists from nowhere, and that's going to hit the little pink coral and take it out in one shot. So that was really good. That could have been annoying and had like Regenerator or something, or been a tanky set. I'm not sure, but it was good to get around it. I wasn't actually expecting to damage 2 Pokemon with my Bouffalant, especially after hitting Poison and stuff. And, it's low speed. Right, so Bouffalant goes down, but does an amazing job. Gliscor's only on a little bit of health, which is good too. So I've got my Kangaskhan swapping this in now. I thought this would be good. And now we've got the Gliscor coming in. So I thought, well, it's either going to go for just an attacking move or try and status me. However, it's going to go for the Thief there. So it's going to Thief my King's Rock. Unfortunately, that was the item I was running on Kangaskhan. I had the Comet Punch there, and I went for the Mega Kick just to finish it off so it couldn't do any more stalling. And that is Gliscor down. So a very tidy start to this battle there, getting rid of 2 Pokemon. Alright, so now we got the problem Pokemon, Trevenant. There wasn't a lot I could do to this. There was 1 or 2 Pokemon that actually could touch this. So going into Kingdra, this time I actually get to use my Kingdra very nicely in this battle. However, it's going to set up the Leech Seed on swap. So it's not really a favourable matchup for Kingdra, obviously being weak to grass. And it's already set up like a Leech Seed on me as well. So I needed a little bit of setup myself. So I don't really like this matchup at all. And I thought, nah, I've got to swap out, save Kingdra for a little bit. I'm just going to feel out and see what this Trevenant actually has in move-wise, right? So, swapping the Dusclops, I've got my Will-o-wisp, and this actually goes for the rest there, predicting some kind of move for me. That's good. That was a nice free turn for my Dusclops. So, Trevenant is going to go for the Leech Seed again. That's cool. I'm not too worried about that. I actually just want to burn this thing in case it's got any physical-type moves. A lot of the time, you'll find it's got, like, Horn Leech, Shadow Claw, Phantom Force, those kind of moves. However, it's going to have the Lumberry like I suspected it would, and that's going to get used up. So that's fine. That's all good. It doesn't really worry me too much. I just wanted to make sure. Right, so anyway, we got the swap here on my Dusclops. I thought, I'm going to do a massive, massive risk here and go into Smeagol, hoping it goes for a Ghost-type move, and it did. It went for Phantom Force. I was like, yes, this is so good, right? Because I'm going to be able to outspeed this, right? And obviously, if they get the Harvest back, that's fine. I can go for a Belly Drum here, and I'm not going to get hit by any type of moves because, it doesn't affect normal types. So that was a really, really big game changer there. I got the Belly Drum up on my Smeagol, which is +6, right? So now Trevenant is going to go for the Phantom Force. I took a massive risk here and went for the conversion. I'm going to convert myself into a flying type. I thought if it goes for a grass type move, that'll be actually really handy. It's going to go for a drain punch, so that's fine too, because I'm going to resist that. So I resist that one, and I'm going to get some a little bit of health back with the Citrus Berry. Now I've got the +6 in attack. I'm now a flying type as well, and I can go for a +6 Dragon Ascent on this Trevenant. And even with Smeagol's dodgy attack, it's going to one-shot it quite, well. So I love actually using Dragon Ascent on Smeagol. It looks so cool. And that is Trevenant down. So that was a really big problem Pokemon that I was worried about actually getting past. So if I couldn't get past that with Smeagol, it was virtually ball game there. So anyway, got the Meteor coming out. I know that it resists that, but I was like, oh, at least if I can break its shields down, that'd be handy. And then I might be able to do some status to it or any kind of damage to it would be good. It's quite a strong Pokemon. So anyway, go for Dragon Ascent. I actually outspeed it, which is interesting. And I'm going to hit that actually really hard, obviously, and does some really good damage. 3/4 damage to it. It's obviously going to break out of its shell too, which is nice, putting it into its more offensive, speedy form. However, they're going to go for the Z move too. It's got to be Normalium Z. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I wonder what move this Meteor is actually going to do. So it's going to boost its accuracy using its Z power, which is going to be Z Defense Curl, which is really interesting. So since I seen the Z Defense Curl, I was like, oh, I think this is going to use Rollout, because obviously that's going to help out the next Rollout, and it's going to boost its accuracy so Rollout never misses right. So since now it's in its offensive form, it's got a higher speed stat, it's going to take out my Smeagol in one shot and be super effective at the same time. So very nice there getting around my Smeagol, but mainly Smeagol was there to get rid of Trevenant. That was awesome, so awesome getting rid of that. Alright, now here we go with the Kingdra, people. I get to finally show you what this set is made of. Alright, so we've got a Rollout coming from the Meteor. It does a lot of damage, man. I'm able to get a Twister off from my Kingdra, and that is actually enough to take it out, which is good. So this Kingdra set, as I was talking about before, it was a really, really scummy set, right? This Kamala, man, I feel sorry for this Kamala. You watch this. So Kamala is sleeping on the job, which is fine. I'm going to go for the Attract here, right? So the opponent, you want to try and immobilize them, right? So Attract was the sort of the go-to move on this. So then Attract actually gave me time to go for the Focus Energy, which would help me critical hit and, stack with Sniper. And Twister actually has a chance of flinching as well, so you can effectively get crits and flinches at the same time. Right, anyway, I've got my Razor Wind and Power Herb too, which is actually hit more powerful than Twister a lot of the time. So we got the Leftovers Recovery on the Kamala. It's all good. Now I can go for the Focus Energy. I'm actually really playing risky at the moment because I'm on low health. I thought, look, the next attack isn't really going to do enough damage either. I may as well try and wait on the Attract, right? So Kamala gets infatuated again. It's basically got all of its health back. So now I can freely go for the Twister. Now, obviously, the Twisters won't be 100% crit ratio because I'm not holding a scope lens, but it'll still do some pretty good damage. So as you can see, that was the damage. It's about a 4-hit KO after Leftovers Recovery. Kamala gets immobilized by Love again. So like, this is really going well. I'm getting some really good luck here. Getting attracted is really, really annoying too. So now whipping up a win, people. Going for the Razor Wind. I was like, bugger, I want to use this move. It's really cool. And I'm going to use up my Power Herb too before I get someone steals it or something like last time. And that does about the same damage. Maybe a wee little bit more than Twister too. Alright, so Kamala's going to get infatuated again. I think that's, what, the 4th time in a row now. And it's in a range of actually taking it out the turn after this one. So now going for the Twister, hoping I can take this one out, or it doesn't actually attack me. And I get a critical hit again, which is good. The Kamala is actually going to get infatuated again. I think that was 4 or 5 times in a row. It actually wasn't able to attack. So Kamala got completely shut down by Scum there. I can finish it off with the Twister and take it out. Oh man, that was so. I would have been really salty if that happened to me. I need a drink after that. I need to replenish my salt supplies. Right, so now the last Pokemon is the Dragonite. I've got a very, very comfortable lead. However, this Pokemon actually gave me a little bit of trouble. So going for the Twister, even though I've got the Focus Energy up, it's not guaranteed to get a critical hit, which it doesn't against the Dragonair. However, I get a flinch, which is really cool. So now going for the Twister again on the Dragonair. I love the Twister animation. It looks so cool. I don't get a crit this time. However, Dragonair is going to have Dragon Rage, which is set damage, taking out my Kingdra. I was like, okay, that's fair enough. I'm happy with that. Kingdra did an amazing job there. Completely shut down that Kamala. So half my team's going. I thought, let's swap in Kangaskhan to finish off this Dragonair, right? So going for the Comet Punch, see if I could scum this, scum out this Dragonair. And I only hit 3 times, unfortunately. Dragonair is going to have Rest. That's going to heal itself up. Now, Dragonair obviously has Shed Skin as well, so it's going to have it's kind of like a pseudo recover, right? if the shed skin activates, right? Alright, so Dragonair is asleep. I'm going to go for the work up here to boost my stats, because I want to take this thing out. It's very, very bulky, and even, like, Mega Kick is very shaky in accuracy too, so I just want to get some stat boost up against this thing. Right, and I've got Slaking though. The only thing I was worried about swapping Slaking was like missing and stuff, and then if it did have Dragonets or something like that, that would be bad. So that's why I went to Kangaskhan at this point in the game, right? So go for another work up against the Dragonair. Now Dragonair is going to wake up this, obviously wake up, and it's going to use Toxic. So it's got Rest, Toxic, and Dragon Rage, right? So I was like, okay, maybe it's going to have Bind as well. That sort of sounds like, I've used like a similar set myself with Dragonair and Dratini. I've used it with the whole line. It's a very, very funny set. Anyway, so go for the Common Punch against the Dragonair, trying to get those 5 hits off people. And it does over half health. I'm pretty happy with that one. So it hits 4 times. Now the Dragonair is going to go for the Wrap or Bind, whatever. Still, I reckon that Wrap animation, it just looks so out of place. Like the animation, it just looks very, very kind of cartoony. I'm not sure. I don't know. It just looks very, very fun. It looks cool, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of just out of place. Right, anyway, so I'm going to get wrapped by the Wrap. So I've got the Comet Punch coming in on the Dratini, the Dragonair again. I'm able to hit it 3 times again. I didn't take it out, and now the Dragonair is going to use Rest and like fucking getting stalled out by one of my favorite Pokemon. So, I thought, well, now I've got to go for the Dizzy Punch, right? Dizzy Punch is a little bit more powerful, but obviously, you know, Comet Punch has a chance of hitting more types. Dizzy Punch has more set base power, and it has the chance of confusing as well, so that's why I wasn't using. I thought I might be able to get lucky with that set. Plus, I wanted to use all my moves too. That was sort of like the challenge of this team. Right, so I basically only have 1 move left. Going for the Dizzy Punch on the Dragonair, and it does around as much as 4 Comet Punch hits, right? So it's about the same. And Dragonair wakes up and uses Rest again, gets the Shed Skin activation right away. So I'm actually in a little bit of trouble here because Dusclops really can't do any damage. I mean, if you look at it, it's got Bind, right? It's got Will-o-wisp. Will-o-wisp is going to be like completely useless. Bind is going to be useless. Pain Spit's going to be useless, and Attract's kind of going to be useless too. It was a little bit of a bad situation. So the last Pokemon I've got really that can actually take out this Dragonair was Slaking. So going for the big Mega Kick, it only just does over half, so it's a 2-hit KO. But the problem, right, is that True. So the Dragonair is going to be asleep, which is good. It doesn't wake up. Pretty much all this has to do is go for the Rest, and it's going to stall me out. And it's going to be asleep again this turn. I can go for the Mega Kick, hoping that it's going to land. I have to go for Mega Kick, can't go for Mega Punch because of the power difference. And that's just enough to take out the Dragonair, and that is game. So actually a very close battle there in the end. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. They were very, very fun. Check out the bonus battle. It's pure salt. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.